Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royalty Room. It's Legal Queen LA, and I am feeling amazing today. I have a surprise guest all the way from my crazy hometown that you may or may not have heard of, Brownsville, Pennsylvania. Everybody, I would like to welcome to the Royalty Room AGB Green.
Yo, what up? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. For anybody that doesn't know, we actually had the unfortunate pleasure of growing up together
Yeah,
from the same town, essentially, where I spent half of my life.
yeah,
But now, fast forward to 2023, AGB Green is now a musical artist.
absolutely.
Just did a couple of shows out in LA for the first time, so we're spreading from the East Coast to the West.
Yes, man.
And also happens to be, a close friend and a client that I'm very honored to have on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today we titled our show "Hometown versus Heroes." That is a reference to "Voice of the Heroes" by Lil Baby and Lil Durk. If you did not know, because I think that that's a really good place to start, considering, our
Where we come from?
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into that nonsense, though, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, what you're working on, what you're doing?
So I've been working on the music and everything, of course. Things come with that I just don't really know all the ins and out of. So that's why I'm like,
That's
l-
why you're here with
yeah,
me.
exactly. Trying like figure out all the ins and outs and really be able to put my music out and monetize it and do it at a high level. You know what I'm saying?
As it should be. Solomon, do you think we could play something for the people to get in tune with Green?
Let's see.
Yeah, this was out. But I had to take it down, just 'cause I ain't
It's
take
from
the
last year, right?
right steps to putting it out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still working on
That's
that.
where all this comes from. The rushing, getting it in last second though. Let me know when all the angels come, or at least when it's my day to run. It's time to go and have some fun. I know. When I was young, I know I'd be
Clover.
someone.
Yeah,
It's like I can see
the
before the
brand.
trouble comes. Somebody died, I heard another one. I hate we had to see him fall. Like, what was all the problems, son? The Reaper ringing, that's your last call. Just help me understand it. Just tell me what your motive is. We got the upper hand. It's like these niggas don't know what motion is. Come from the bottom, nothing like my route with so
That's
much flow.
Sunny.
You know I'm about
Yeah,
it all around. I'ma show the world what close. No, you can't find me broken. I'm trying to find the ocean. I'm trying to find
No,
some
I'm not
motion.
gonna hold
No,
you.
they
That
can't
song you
hold me
showed me though
down. I
with
know the
with
time is
Sunny,
close.
the
I
one
know
where
I
we,
want it
I
all.
can shake
I'm
my
gonna
booty
reach
up in the
out and
air.
grab it.
yeah, the
I'ma
rap.
leave the block
Yeah.
alone.
I don't know, guys. I'm just saying I may be like a tiny bit biased. But I think we have some hits
No, for
that are
sure.
coming, some that are
Yeah,
already out.
yeah, for sure. We got a lot of work that's just ain't out yet. I'm trying to do it right. That's all, and then it's all coming. I
That's
can't wait
good.
to give it to y'all either.
It's nice to actually like meet people, well, know people who want to have a plan before they launch things.
Yeah,
I think that's one of, the best things that you could do is have all the content loaded up, all the songs in the vault, the music videos, etc. So
absolutely.
I get it, but like, when is my favorite song going back up on platforms? Because
Yeah, I was thinking about re-recording that because my previous engineer, I guess he lost the stems or whatever, so I got to re-record that and
that's the worst part
you
though,
know.
because I made a couple of songs myself. I feel like it never comes out the same way or as good as it was, or it doesn't sound the
Yeah,
same
it's
if
not.
you redo
It
it.
doesn't sound original, but if if you know if it's better, it's better. You know what I mean? You can't be biased. You just got to know because the quality of my last one, I don't think it was up to par.
Yeah.
I think I can reproduce that at a higher level, regardless. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Well, we're gonna do that, but I have been thinking about, since my last trip home,
Yeah.
this idea of hometown versus heroes. And I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. You're an artist, you're traveling outside and going back home. Um, we lost Jimmy Wapo in Pittsburgh. We
Absolutely.
lost X in his hometown in Florida. We lost, all these people when they go back home, Dolphin, Memphis. What the hell is going on? Like, what is it just hometown mentality no matter where you're from, or like,
I mean, in your hometown, people know you. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to see you doing better. That's my perspective. You know what I'm saying? So you stay home and you're running into all these different emotions and get positive ones, but you're also gonna get negative ones. You know what I'm
right?
saying? So you can't call it because that's where you grew up. That's what you know. There's people you love there, but people that's gonna envy you the most at home.
Mm.
And
Whoa!
and a lot of times it don't end well because people know your
Right.
weaknesses probably too, know you a lot, know you well. So it's just
So my thing
find
about
that
that
balance.
though is I feel like I have two hometowns. I grew
Yeah,
up,
Florida.
I had parents in two different states, but I spent half of my time in each place, and I feel like nobody actually knows me
Yeah,
there at this point. Like I went home for what, a week, and I just merely exist. I don't drink, I'm the
yeah,
only sober person in the town on a Friday or Saturday night,
absolutely.
period. And I simply just exist, and chaos erupts because I exist.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, when is the last time I had a conversation with this person in my entire life? Some people I don't think I've ever had a conversation with ever.
yeah.
And it's just like,
Family ties and stuff
cause
like
you
that.
exactly, cause
Yeah,
you know of someone who knows me or talked to me, dated me, is related, whatever it is. And it's just so interesting because all people talk about is you need to get out, you need to get out of here, you need to get out of here, you need to do something better with your life. And then we go and do something better with our lives,
no support.
and then we're just not shit.
Yeah, it's just,
I Yeah,
yeah. People don't give that support how they're supposed to. I think nobody really wants to see you doing better than them, though. You know what I'm saying? They'll say it
true.
like keep doing your thing, but really they, you know what I mean, don't want to see you doing better than them. Why would they want to see that? I'm not saying they're against it, but why would they want to see that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until it's already done and you're forced to support it or you want to tag along or whatever the case may be. But I think it's just human nature, honestly.
So you've been doing like a lot of numbers on TikTok,
Yeah.
with your motivational speeches and talks, which actually we should have put some TikTok clips up
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
But what do you think? Because I want to change the world
Yeah.
on a small scale, on a large scale, for this person, for one person even. And I realize, I want to do this for everybody everywhere, but I can't even do it where I come from.
Yeah.
So what do you think, like, is there anything that we can do? Like, I feel like if I were to go back home and be like, "Oh, I'm starting this mental health and this beauty salon and this and this," people are
Yeah.
still gonna be like,
Yeah.
"No."
So I don't know if there's really much you can do to change people. I think I just heard this quote. I can't remember it exactly, but it was just like you're going to stress yourself out trying to change other people. You can't drag somebody to want to do better, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just going to irritate them and stress you out, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to get tired of you or vice versa. It doesn't really make sense. You just have to find the people that work for you, the situations that work for you.
Yeah.
Like I say, keep pushing.
I feel like it's also like a generational thing, because nobody goes anywhere, everybody stays there forever.
Yeah,
So there's no new knowledge, there's no new mindsets, there's no growth,
absolutely.
and you're just growing up in the same cycle of violence or depression or
Comfortability, you know what I'm saying?
hating,
Absolutely.
all the above.
Negativity. You get comfortable with it though.
Comfortability is the devil.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, I feel like being comfortable is, that should make you uncomfortable.
Keeps you off your feet. You know what I'm saying? You're comfortable. You're not working towards anything. You're not, you're not exerting. If you're comfortable, you're not exerting yourself.
So what are you gonna do, or what are you doing or have done this year that took you out of your comfort zone?
Uh So I started doing dogs, breeding dogs. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I really had no knowledge in that. I just started taking on that, and now it's the whelping and all that. That's just stuff that I had to learn, gain knowledge. I restarted school. I'm at LA Film for audio engineering.
That's so exciting.
You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get better in the things that are, get better in things that are gonna help my dream come together. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do things that are like aimless. You know what I'm saying? Audio engineering, the studio is expensive. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm just trying to learn
That's
how
why I
to.
haven't been to the studio in so long. I'm not.
It's expensive.
Nope. I'm not paying you for a session. I will keep this song in my head
Yeah,
for now.
that's how what I'm saying. Dogs, you know what I'm saying. It's a whole nother world. Like if you get bigger in the dog game, they might like your music when you put it behind a reel on Instagram. So
Right.
it's people trying to attack different things and do different things and be a better
That's true.
person for real.
That's true. Can you tell us about your brand Clover?
Yeah, we come from Clover Street in Brownsville, Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying?
Gang
So it's
gang.
like my bro had came up with the idea. Clover made bulls. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dogs and everything. And we just compounded off of that. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? Frenchies?
Frenchies, exotic bullies. The best in the world, the best bloods in the world. We went out and got them. Also, we got the exotic marijuana brand. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever are looking for that, we got the best.
It's
Okay.
so funny. Like growing up, I was just adamantly against weed.
Yeah,
Like my dad put like programmed into my head like bad, criminal, crime,
yeah,
wrong, stinky, headaches, like just everything. And I remember I broke up with my very first boyfriend in the ninth grade because he smoked weed. I was
yeah.
like, ew, you're
Wow.
gross. I don't want to date you. And then I moved to California and I feel like I was what, like probably 25 and I
Yeah,
smoked for the first time. I was just like, huh. And now being in California, it's just like you can't escape
yeah, for
the
sure.
everywhere you go, whether you're going out to eat or going out anywhere else, you're gonna smell everybody around you smoking. So it's interesting to me
Yeah.
how things change. I think it's like the environment. I feel like if I moved out of California, it would be weird at this point.
Yeah, California, they're forward thinking with it. In Pennsylvania, we're still behind on the times, and a lot of people look at it the way that you're thinking about it, but well, not thinking about it
Used
previously,
to,
thought
yeah.
it think about it, but it's still growing, but we don't want to fall behind when it starts to come around the East Coast and be more prevalent. So we're just trying to keep a foot ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying?
That's smart. I also recall that you were on tour, did a couple of shows with a couple of big names recently.
Yeah, with Jim Jones and Joel's with the high tolerance of their high tolerance promoted shows. They gave me the opportunity to get up there and perform in front of Millie's and Rich the Kid and
Wow.
so many other people. So
That's so
it was definitely
exciting.
dope. And I was on my live the other day, and people from the show was on there, and they told me to play certain songs. So that was definitely exciting. Knowing people follow you after that
Hell yeah.
means something.
I think it's really nice, like, no matter what show it is, what venue it is, if there's more than one person in the crowd, you're going to either gain a fan or a post that can gain another fan,
Yeah,
or, you're a room full of 10 people. You could have 10,000 followers by the next day. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely. Putting that work in is just important. So I just got to make sure I get back to that in full effect. Being outside is important. I
Yeah.
realized that when I was out here for a little bit with y'all.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. I don't really know much about other cities, but Los Angeles is definitely a little bit strange. You have to be in people's faces at all times, um, or else you're out.
Forgotten
We
about.
forgot we forgot about you last week, shorty.
There's so much stuff going on out here and so many people working. So
Yep,
it's like, if you're not working, then why we think about you?
that's true. I think another thing that is interesting is people from LA actually tend to stay here.
Yeah.
And don't necessarily have that same issue that we were talking about for the
Yeah,
most part.
LA so big, you know what I'm saying? You can reach out to so many different groups of people in Los Angeles and find so many different environments. Pennsylvania is more so what it is, you know what I'm saying? I don't really go to the Philly areas and stuff, so I don't really know the other side, but from Brownsville, from Uniontown to Pittsburgh, it's all the same, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? From to Morgantown, West Virginia, like nothing really
To
changes.
Youngstown,
Yeah,
Ohio.
it's all the same. So it's like LA, you're getting that real melting pot and real knowledge of and diversity and knowing what to do and just really
You got to stay up with the times.
learning people in LA. You know what it is with people in Pittsburgh. Most of them don't even really want to. It's like a cold city on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me. I also think that out here, you can literally wake up one day and start a different life. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like I've lived I feel like I've had 9 lives since I moved to LA.
it's possible.
And it's like nothing ever stays the same from one month to the next, so if you're not involved in all these things. And I think it's nice, obviously, to live here and be able to be involved in everything whenever you can, but a lot of people also are living elsewhere and just flying in when it's important.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that just comes with the cost of living.
Hmm.
Honestly, I think it just when you live a certain lifestyle in other places, it's hard to come to Los Angeles and be, you know what I'm saying? You can always make a way. Don't get it confused, but people get comfortable.
Hey, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm legal Queen LA,
Yeah,
and I'm definitely not from out here.
yeah,
But
no
here
doubt.
we are. My career is from out here.
Yeah, and you've been thugging it out here though, and you know what I'm saying. You've been you can obviously tell, you know what I mean. You're
Thank
growing,
you.
putting the work in.
I
So
appreciate
you know what I'm
that.
saying.
It's I've realized like the perfect way to put how I feel about the city. It's hard to love, but it's way harder to leave.
Yeah, uh,
Cause I be
yeah, I
saying
can see it.
I'm trying to get out of LA tomorrow. I say that once a month. I'm gonna move to Houston. I'm gonna move to Barbados. I'm gonna move back home to Florida. I'm
Yeah,
gonna move like
yeah,
no.
but
I got
LA,
stuff to do.
yeah, LA. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's the land of the dreams out here compared to all the other cities. I'd say I was up in New York, and I think it's just more mean and more. You know what I'm saying? Like I
I'm
don't
not gonna
know.
lie.
I
I
like
only
I like
went
LA. I
once.
like LA.
Yeah, I only went to New York once, and I don't even think I was 21 yet,
Yeah,
but I did not like it. I did not get like good energy.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
don't want anybody to come for me because, I'm from the East Coast. We get it, but it just didn't resonate with me.
yeah. Sure.
Especially, well, maybe because I did grow up in Florida and I'm used to like islands and tropical things,
Yeah,
but it just, yeah, it didn't give the same. And when I came out here, I really, my sister really is what opened my eyes to LA kind of.
yeah,
But when I came out here, I was just like, wow, it's beautiful like Florida, but the energy feels even better. I feel like more uplifted, more, free. But then I got into dealing with the entertainment
yeah,
industry and I started to feel suffocated again. So I feel like it's definitely one of those things where you have to keep a balance of like detoxing from like these social medias and these events and everything. Like, you know, BET Awards turns into a week long rendezvous, Grammys, the Oscars. It's just any event that happens out here, it's for a week straight,
yeah. It's always going.
minimum.
Yeah,
I think last um, Halloween lasted for a week and a half. I couldn't do it, but everybody I
yeah.
know, it's like,
This party a week and a half. Let's go.
yeah,
Networking events.
networking.
Yeah,
Your network is your net worth.
yeah,
But if your network is not working, do you just, I don't know, do you just keep going to all these events and see what happens? Or is this a waste of time? You think it's better to be outside
I
or
think
keep
it.
to yourself?
I think it's important to set goals. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even the best at doing that.
Right.
but I think it's important to know where you're going.
Mm. Like
You know what I'm
your
saying?
why,
Yeah, like what
your end
what do I
goal.
want what do I want them to do? What do you want them to do?
My thing is, whenever I moved out here, I put, I think it was New Year's going into 2020, before anything was shut down.
Yeah.
Um, my New Year's resolution, because I used to be a little bit introverted. Believe it or not, like I used to be I would never speak to somebody unless they spoke to me.
Yeah.
So when I got here and I was like, I'm going to start a career in a new city where I know nobody, I'm gonna have to get it together. So it was my goal to speak to a minimum of 3 people everywhere that I go.
Yeah, for sure.
And that kind of was the first step towards like learning how to network and being better at shaking hands, because if you shake one person's hand, that could lead to the next 10 handshakes
Yeah.
or the next 10 opportunities.
Yeah.
So I think that is one of the most important things. But it is also easy to get lost in the sauce out here, or in the music industry altogether.
Yeah, try and find your own way. I'm sure people do out here.
They call it's easy to see why LA is the devil's playground. Cuz you can get into whatever you want, you can find whoever or whatever you want or need at the time. Um there's no limits really.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
kind of scary.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so big and there's limitless opportunity. There's limitless things that can happen.
So do you think that you could see yourself moving to LA, or
Yeah,
actually, yeah, like
I could.
living here
Yeah, for sure. I was really going to do it this year, but I bit off more than I can chew to leave and pass it
or
over to
starting
somebody else.
businesses and
Yeah,
businesses?
yeah. So I just got to figure all that out and find out the right people to delegate and or have the right space for me to do it out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once I figure that out, because I want to be around. You know what I'm saying? I want to be around. I like going outside a little bit, and you know, and I like working out here. I like the vibe. So
What is your favorite thing about making music? Is it the writing? Is it the performance? Is it the what is it about?
yeah, I just like. I mean, I just like the creation of it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the process. You know, it's like you surprise yourself. Oh, I said that, or I just like music.
Do
So
you
all in
go
all,
like off top, or you write?
I do both. You
Okay.
know, do
Okay.
both from time to time. Like I rarely just go for like a whole song. I'm not one of them, but like maybe 3 lines, punching, whatever. And, it usually turns out to my liking at least.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time someone forced me into the studio, we were having just a heart to heart. I was probably talking about some hometown
Yeah,
trauma, and he was like, um, your voice is really powerful, Ash. Like, I want to hear what you have to say. Like, people want to listen when you speak. And I actually, whenever the pandemic came around and the George Floyd protests were going on, he's also the one that, handed me the mic at City Hall. It's
yeah,
like, you got stuff to say. And I'm just like, "Huh, no, do I? But now
yeah,
here I am. I got stuff to say. And I think it was that right there that was right when the pandemic started. So the pandemic kind of, ruined a lot of things, but it tapped me into my creative for the first time ever.
yeah,
And he was like, you represent artists all the time. Don't you want to, experience what they do, or see what it's like to do their job? And I was like, I hate my voice. But he forced me into the booth anyway.
yeah,
And I made this song, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I know why everybody wants to make music now. I feel great.
yeah. It
I've
feels like
never felt this good in my life."
you unleash
Like,
something.
yeah. And that was the first time I ever, cuz I just, I'm a lawyer. I'm a nerd. I read books. Like, I always thought like my sister, my cousins and stuff, those were the creatives.
Yeah,
But I don't have any of that in me. And ever since then, I've been writing songs, books, poems, beats, editing, all types of everything just off of that one conversation. I
mm,
get it. But
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think performing in front of large crowds might be a little bit too nerve wracking for me.
Nah, like what's crazy is like I don't even be nervous in my head, but like sometimes like I be like physically reacting. Like
Yeah.
I be like, oh, but I still like doing it. I enjoy it. The biggest crowd I ever performed at was that New York with
Yeah. With Jim Jones.
Jim Jones, Millie's, and who else was there? Rich the Kid. I think A Boogie
A
was supposed
Boogie,
to
I
be there. I
thought,
don't think he
yeah.
came, but there was a
Lame.
lot of people there based off of whoever's name, his name,
Right.
whatever. There was a lot of people there
That's
for
dope.
sure.
And what is like, is there something that you do to get ready to perform? Like, do you have like a regimen or a prayer or like a meal?
I just try to breathe.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just breathe. Get my if I'm physically reacting, I'm assuming it's anxiety or something. So I just try to breathe. If I want some water, I drink water. But no real. Maybe I should get into a routine or something. But nah, not no real routine.
Okay. Well, breathing is intentional breathing,
Yeah,
mindful breathing. I think is one of the most important things that you can learn to master because it's not just like, yeah, your body does this automatic thing, but are you using it for what it can do and what it's supposed to do?
yeah,
Um, it's kind of like mini meditation.
yeah. I guess that's what I try to do.
I actually, so speaking of hometown, I just had a conversation with someone and they were like super anxious, just like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, da, 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 I gotta just going crazy. And I'm like, come sit,
Yeah,
breathe, like just take a breath, take a breath. And hometown mentality. I fucking breathe all the time. Da, 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 da. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, stop being so controlling. And I'm just like, can you take a deep
breathe.
breath? And it just not even like considered.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, man, we have a lot of work to do here.
you know, people think they know what they know and live by it. So it's hard to change people.
Do you think you can change people?
Nah, I think they gotta want to be different. Like that, you didn't change them. Like
They have to change themselves.
yeah, it might have been something you presented that changed them. Or but they might change for you, but they're not. You can't change them.
Mm, interesting.
They might change for you.
Speaking of Mr. Green, anything exciting going on in your love life? Oh, while we're here,
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
let
exciting.
the ladies know where they can find you on Instagram if you single,
Yeah.
all the good things.
I ain't. I've been in a relationship. With Shalia, but you can find me on Instagram with AGB Green. You know,
You
I
can
still,
still find him.
yeah, I still do the Instagram, TikTok, all platforms. AGB Green. You know,
What is AGB?
always getting bread. So,
Okay.
you know,
I, I know
y-
that's right.
yeah. So that's what the brand was at first. You know what I'm saying? But we just converted to the Clover, and then I just kept AGB Green as my rap name.
As you should, as you should. Um, what what advice would you give someone, maybe in similar positions or different positions in their hometowns and they have these dreams and everybody either doesn't think it's realistic or is not supportive, whatever it may be.
Yeah, me personally, I would just say chase them because like shouldn't matter. It's your dream. Everybody got their own, so you know you can. And even if you do support them, don't change yourself and don't get too caught up into it because there's what 9 billion, 8 billion people in the world. So they'll support you when it's time. You don't have to forget it. But that's what I would say. You know what I'm saying? Just keep chasing your dream. You know, in America, you got to get money. So get you some money too.
You gotta get that money, honey.
And chase your dream. Simple as that.
I always like to say every day to wake up in LA, you automatically have to pay like $100 just to
Oh,
open your eyes.
oh my goodness. Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I don't live out here. I was paying $70 to wash my clothes. I'm like, oh, in that little apartment. This is crazy. Y'all was tripping.
Yeah, when I went home, when I first moved out here, I went home one time and I was talking to one of my grandparents and they kept, asking all their nosy questions, and rent comes up, and I think my grandfather like stopped in his tracks, like spit out his water, like heart stopped for a second. He was like, "Ashley, my mortgage is less than
Yeah.
$300 a month
LA 2,700 rent. What the?
for one
Yeah,
bedroom, just
what's
one."
going on here?
My dog doesn't even have enough room to run around in a circle, and I'm paying almost 3 bands.
They're talking about, oh, and there's a hidden fee here. It's like, nah, they killed me.
That is a thing, on I'd never noticed how many like extra fees just specifically for California exist until I started like really. So Fashion Nova is obviously an obsession these days.
Yeah.
And I've been on them since like 2013, before Cardi B put them on her songs, before they were like really anything. And I used to order from them all the time. While I moved out here, there's extra fees specifically to deliver California brand Fashion Nova that's right down the street to California residents. Like literally CA specific tax.
Yeah, when I be looking at the receipts, things I buy, I be like, oh, it says it got a local tax, state tax, city tax. So,
And they're the little fees for water bottles. It's like anything that's a plastic bottle has an extra fee if you look at like when you
oh
grocery
wow,
shopping. Um
they're raking it in.
yeah, if you do like I think it's with a debit card versus a credit card or whatever at the gas station, there's an extra fee.
Oh hell
Um
yeah.
what else? The plastic bags at the grocery store, you got to pay per bag.
They killed me with parking so many times out here. It
Mm,
doesn't even make sense. Like I
mm.
got hit with so many $80 fines for 10
See, and
minutes.
that's the thing. You would think, okay, you get a parking ticket, 25, maybe $50. Oh no,
Yeah,
$68
I'm like,
a
this should
pop.
add up.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I just want to know where all the money's going because the roads are not getting the money.
If they're
The
about
potholes,
if they're about to do that whatever they're saying for the black folks
the
the
reparations.
reparations of the black folks of
Mhm.
California, then that's where that money's going. But other than that they better do something because they're hitting me with a lot.
Yeah. And you're not even full-time here
Yeah,
and you're
no.
feeling it.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah, exactly. That's why I say I can't come out here like just to play around. I gotta have real goals,
right.
real something. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I can't come out here willy nilly trying to end up down the street.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen, that Skid Row population keep growing.
end up down the street.
Um, but I remember my dad came out here for the first time, and I assumed that he was gonna hate it. Just because of the way that my dad is. He's very like strict and structured, and he visited and he really liked it. And I was shocked, but I was like, "Oh my God. So what? Would you live out here?" He was like, "Absolutely not. I would
Yeah.
never move here unless I was a
Billionaire.
multi-billionaire."
Yeah, exactly.
Billionaire. He was like, "I would never," because he's very well off back where he lives. Um, and I'm sure that would translate if
Yeah.
he were to, go out of the way to get the specific job or whatever here. But he was like, "There's absolutely no way I would trade in the level or whatever of the life that I live there for what half or a quarter of what it's worth out here."
Yeah.
And I was like, I hear you, but like, I'm not even like a single billionaire
Yeah.
and I'm making it work, you
Th-
know?
There's just so much chance to make more money here.
Yeah,
Like that's the
exactly.
only thing that can bring you out here, unless you like the sun all the time. You know what I mean? Like, but there's so much chance out here, chance
Yeah.
for bad and chance for good. But there's so much chance. Like you're really taking a risk being in LA.
No risk, no reward, huh?
Yeah, you're really taking a risk being in LA. It goes for
Um,
anybody.
I think the most important thing is like keeping your mind.
Yeah,
Um, and that's with anything really, any career path. But if you focus on yourself and only what feels good to you, and only what um your body knows things before you do.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to focus on the way that things make you feel. It just really always boils down to that. Because if you're listening to your intuition and you're following, you know, where you're supposed to go by the way you feel, then you're in alignment.
Yeah.
And that's really the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you're out of alignment, all hell's breaking loose.
Yeah. Just that's what I encourage. Be yourself at all times. You know what I'm saying? You know, and there's times you make decisions and you really thought hard about it, and you know that wasn't you. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't be real with yourself, then you know what I'm saying. You can't be real with anybody. So
Damn.
definitely important to
And if
be
you don't
aligned.
love yourself, you can't love
You can't
anybody.
love anybody.
Yeah, those are very, very true statements. I think it's interesting also because LA is such a place where you can be anything, and you can be yourself.
Yeah.
And you'll see that like at an event. It will be one event with one theme or one like dress code or whatever, and then you'll have people show up in evening gowns and people show up in pajamas
Yeah.
to the same thing because everybody is authentically being themselves in their dress and how they're acting and where they're going, but then there's just so much fakeness and hate and shade on top of that. So I don't understand how you could be so authentically yourself in the way that you dress and show up in the things that you do, but then,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know
I mean, really, sometimes I think people do a lot for attention, you know.
mm,
You'll never know if someone's being their self. Like that's really just a judgment. Like
yeah.
right now I could be faking to you and I can be a mathematician and you never
You could fake to somebody
no,
else.
but like seriously though, like you'll never know. Like dude could be whoever he wants to be, but here he's here. He's the cameraman. You know what I mean? But he could be whoever he wants to be. I don't know him, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Like if he's being him, then I know him now.
I went to one day I was at church, and um my pastor is like he's really funny. He was like, it's just interesting in LA. You meet someone and they're not just like, "Oh yeah, I'm a car salesman," or, "Oh yeah, I work at the Foot Locker." They're like, "Oh yes, I'm a content creator, an influencer, a sandwich maker, a shoe tire, and
Barista.
a dancer and a
Yeah.
barista."
A
Yeah.
sandwich artist.
Artist, exactly. A sandwich artist. Um, yeah, it's a fun place. It's an interesting place. But I think while we're here, or while I'm here at least, um, it's a good place to get all of your footing, make all of your money, and then get out so you have a foundation that you can come back to when you need to come back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It
You
makes
know?
sense anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But doing it here is just doing it at a larger scale. I always feel like I guess you can do anything at a big scale, but if you're really doing it in Los Angeles, California,
You can do it anywhere.
do it anywhere.
Okay.
Unless it's dangerous.
Well, anything is dangerous now.
Yeah.
Anything, anywhere. That's the thing. It's like you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, you can't say anything. It's just like everything is just crazy. Everything is crazy right now. You could have the best intentions. You could be the best human, and you never know literally what could happen. That's why it's really important. Like I'm very happy that you're here.
Yeah.
First of all, the whole thing about giving people their flowers while they're here. Like, no, dead ass. Like, you are very talented, and
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you. And I'm glad that we used to cuss each other out and be
Yeah.
ready to throw hands at each other. Listen, I feel like we're like cousins at this point or
Yeah.
something that grew up and was just fighting all the time,
Yeah.
and now we
Definitely
grow
was
up
like
and
that.
and we're close because it's a certain type of person that comes to Los Angeles,
Yeah.
you know? Um, and
And
it's a certain type of career or idea or dream that leads you here. So I think that it's great that we have that in common, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that you're here. So thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, guys, this was a very near and dear personal episode for us, and I hope you enjoyed it. Every other Monday, we're going to be here in the royalty room. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, go stream AGB Green on all platforms.
Yeah,
And we're going to be looking out for the next project. So
it's
we'll see you
coming.
guys soon.
Clover.